And as we did that, it's just funny. My point was, it's interesting that I'm sitting here talking about making connections online, because in my yearbook, uh, for our yearbook group, there was a picture of all of us, and there was like a question or a comment for each person on the yearbook staff. And for me, for Lane, it says, "Does Lane talk?" Because I was kind of a shy, quiet kid. I stayed to myself pretty much, and so it's just interesting. Things come full circle. Here I am talking about making deeper connections online. And so I'm gonna share with you 5 tips, 5 ways to make deeper connections with our online connections. The first, and you may have heard me say this before, everyone's favorite radio station is WIIFM. In other words, what's in it for me? So when we're talking to someone, what they want is for us to talk to them, to ask them questions, to let them, and not like like we're barraging them with a bunch of questions, but they want to know that we care and that we're listening to them. So if we ask a few questions, and of course share, if I ask, oh, where are you from? And you might say wherever. Let's say you say California, and I say, oh, I'm from Utah. So as we're having those conversations, ask a question, let them talk, learn about them. But from my experience, what I found is, kind of do a sandwich approach. Mostly talk about them, but every once in a while share about me, so that they don't feel like I'm just bombarding them with questions, right? And so, whether it's having some, fresh perspective, having some insights, some ideas, whatever it may be, let them know how connecting with you will benefit them. Ultimately, that's what people want to know. What's in it for them? How will they benefit by connecting with you? Number 2, use the other person's name. Dale Carnegie said it best. Remember that a person's name is, to that person, the sweetest sound in any language. It's like music to their ears when we say their name. Same is true when we're typing in a message online. The sweetest sound to them, or the sweetest thing that they can see, is also their name. And to show, just to give one example of how I know this is so important. So this last week, I sent a message to someone. And I don't know what happened. Somehow, I think just a few minutes before, I had been sending a message to one person, and then I was sending a message to this new person, and I got their name wrong. For whatever reason in my brain, I got twisted around, and I was using the person's name from the chat before. Because I was testing this out, because I knew I was going to talk about this and highlight this week. And so what I found was, she corrected me. It was so important to her that I get her name right that she corrected me. And so it really is the sweetest sound that we'll hear, or in online terms, the sweetest thing that they will say, the sweetest picture that they will say, you could say. Because what happens to a picture in relations to words? As they say, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? And so if we take that time to personalize a message and use their name, that establishes a connection right from the start. Plus, it's a great way to grab their attention and make sure that your message stands out of all their messages. Third, and I'm going to share a secret that I've learned. Have you ever had someone ghost you? Whether it's online, whether it's a text, whatever. Maybe you send it. So I have a person that 2 weeks ago said that she wanted to talk more, just in general, about I'd like to learn more about her. She wanted to learn more about me. We wanted to help each other with our businesses, to grow our businesses. And so the idea was to have this, have a conversation, so we could, learn more about each other, and and see how we can point each other the right direction. Basically, I'm all about that. I'm always willing and wanting to hop on a phone call, video call, whatever it is with someone to help learn how we can help each other in our businesses. But in this one case, she was all over it. She was, yes, let's have a conversation, etc., etc. Well, the next day goes by. So I had finished it off with the question to her, and that's a good way to